A homeless man living on the streets had one dream: to make enough money to get a pair of warm shoes. But while collecting coins for his next meal, he comes across a very special little girl. She's crying because she hasn't got enough money for school. "Don't worry," said the homeless man, pulling out his wallet. "Here's my last bit of food. It's all you need." The girl took the food, wiped away her tears, and thanked him. "You have no idea how much this means to me." Then she ran off to school. The homeless man felt good about helping her, but he was also worried. After all, it was his last bit of food, and now he would have to find something else to eat. But then something unexpected happened. Years went by and the homeless man continued to live on the streets. One day, as he was begging for food, he heard someone say, "I know that girl. She's studying to become a doctor. She wants to help the homeless just like me." He was surprised. He never imagined that little girl would become a doctor. Meanwhile, the girl was studying hard in school. Every time she saw a homeless person, she thought of the homeless man who gave her food when she was hungry. Because of his kindness, she grew up to be a successful doctor. But she never forgot where she came from. One day she decided to share her story online, hoping to raise awareness about homelessness. She wrote, "When I was a poor student, there was a homeless man who gave me his last bit of food so that I wouldn't go hungry. Now I'm a successful doctor, and I want to pay it forward to other people in need." Thousands of people read her story and were inspired by the homeless man's kindness. Many of them started donating money so that he could buy new shoes. "Why do you want to buy new shoes?" asked one person. "Because these are worn out and I can't keep begging," he replied. "You don't have to beg anymore," said the person. "Here's some money." The homeless man was shocked. He couldn't believe anyone would give him money just because they felt sorry for him. But he was also grateful. After all, he was tired of begging. In total, $50,000 was raised to help the homeless man. With this money, he was finally able to buy a nice pair of shoes, and although he was happy to have new shoes, he didn't want to spend all the money on himself. Instead, he wanted to help others. So he met with the people who had donated money and told them, "I know you all wanted to help me, but I don't need all this money for myself. There are many other homeless people on the street who are in need. Why don't we use this money to build a shelter where we can take them in, give them food and clothing, and maybe even help them find jobs?" Everyone loved the idea and agreed to donate half of the money, $25,000, to help build the shelter. The rest of the money was used to buy food and clothing for the homeless people living on the street. The homeless man was so happy to see so many people come together to help those in need. He never imagined that his small act of kindness would inspire so many people. As the years went on, more and more people learned about the homeless man's story and wanted to help. Some people made large donations while others volunteered their time. Together, they were able to make a real difference in the lives of hundreds of homeless people. The homeless man's story became a beacon of hope for people around the world. People from different countries and cultures came together to help the homeless man and others like him. The homeless man's story went viral. People from all over the country started sending him letters and gifts. He received everything from food and clothing to money and even job offers. The homeless man was overwhelmed by the generosity of strangers. He never imagined that his story would touch so many people. But the homeless man was a humble man. He didn't let the attention go to his head. He knew that the real heroes were the people who donated money and time to help the homeless. He worked hard to make the shelter a success. He spent his days meeting with donors, organizing events, and making plans for the future. He also volunteered his time at the shelter, helping to serve meals and distribute clothing. Despite all of the challenges, the homeless man never lost sight of his dream. He knew that he could make a real difference in the world, no matter how small his actions may seem. And his dream became a reality. The shelter opened its doors and took in its first guests. The homeless man was overjoyed. He could finally provide a safe haven for people who had nowhere else to turn. The shelter quickly became a model for other organizations. People from all over the country wanted to know how the homeless man had made such an impact with so little resources. The homeless man always gave the same answer. He simply had a dream and was willing to work hard to make it come true. But the homeless man's work was not done. He still wanted to reach more people and make a bigger impact. So he started speaking at events and sharing his story with anyone who would listen. He traveled all over the country, meeting with government officials, business leaders, and everyday citizens. He talked about the importance of helping the homeless and the power of one person to make a difference. The homeless man's message resonated with people from all walks of life. They were inspired by his humility, his compassion, and his determination, and they wanted to be part of his mission. The homeless man's story touched the hearts of millions. It reminded people that even the smallest act of kindness can make a big difference. It showed them that they didn't need to be rich or famous to make an impact. All they needed was a willingness to help and a dream for a better world. And that's what the homeless man did. He started a movement that spread across the country and eventually the world. People from all over the globe began donating money, volunteering their time, and sharing the homeless man's story. The homeless man's dream had become a reality. He had changed the lives of millions of people and inspired them to be better human beings. The homeless man's story is a reminder that we should never underestimate the power of one person to make a difference. It shows us that even the smallest act of kindness can have a ripple effect and touch the lives of millions. The homeless man's legacy lives on today. His story continues to inspire people around the world to help those in need and make a positive impact on their communities. He started with nothing, yet left behind a legacy worth more than gold. Now watch, Good People Exist. Or check this one out.